Hello and welcome to the Geek on My Sleeve channel, where we do weekly book reviews and live book discussions every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. My name is Carl, and today I have with me Ba, and we will be doing a spoiler-free book review of The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. So, something that I always try to figure out is if you should read it in publication order or if you should read it in chronological order. This is a new book for me, and I believe you read book one and two first, correct?
Yes. So if you're okay with spoilers and you like to feel those very heavy
Yeah.
emotions, then yes, you can read Throne of Glass and then go to this one. But if you don't like spoilers, no, I don't recommend reading Throne of Glass before Assassin's Blade because you're going to get the spoiler in the first book.
I prefer to keep it spoiler free. Your suggestion is if you don't want the spoilers from the prequel, start with the prequel. If you're okay with reading it and knowing some of the big events that happen, go ahead and start with book one and then come back to this later. We are counting this book towards the Geek on My Sleeve 52 book challenge. The book itself is 448 pages. The prequel is a collection of five novellas, so it's not all one big story. But one of the things I really appreciate about it, and I just finished The Last Wish from the Witcher series, which is also a collection of short stories, is all the short stories in this book seem to build on each other. And it seemed like they talked about the previous one, so it almost felt like one big story to me. How about for you?
I tried to read The Witcher.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get past page 100. I'll try to get back to it, but it was not the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I felt that even if it was five novellas, they were separate.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that the only reason why she separated is to not make like a 1,000 page story full with non-relevant parts. They are still connected. She just took the parts that didn't have any relevance to the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. The five novellas are The Assassin and the Pirate Lord, The Assassin and the Healer, The Assassin and the Desert, The Assassin and the Underworld, The Assassin and the Empire. And they all kind of build on each other. The Pirate Lord, we get kind of introduced to a lot of our big main characters, and then we follow them throughout the next couple books. Overall, for you, how would you rate The Assassin's Blade out of 5 stars?
So I gave 4 stars out of 5 because I felt, especially since I already read the other two
Mm-hmm.
books, I felt that it was dragging too much throughout some stories.
I could see that. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars too. I very much enjoyed the story. There were some things I feel like they could do better, though there are some challenges with the short story format. And I think that could be partially where I wanted some more of. But other than that, this story has a lot going on for it, and I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of the series. 8 books total with this. So it's a decent sized series, and we start out with her pretty
Yes.
young. I believe she's 16 in the prequel, and then if I remember right, she's 18 at the beginning of book one. I felt like the short stories did a good job on the world building. How would you rate that out of 5 stars?
I think it's like 5 of 5
Yeah,
because though I think Sarah's world building is like amazing. She creates a whole new world. And this book, we get to see like a lot of different scenarios with the Pirate Lord or in the desert. And then when she goes back to the city, I think it was very interesting to see those different places that the assassin went.
I agree with you. I would do 4.5 to 5 stars, and that was one of the nice benefits about the short story format is we had different areas of the world. Get more of a sea environment, more of a desert environment, and you get to see some of the different cultures in this world. I'm sure we get to see a lot more of that in the later books, but it was a really nice introduction, which is what you want from a prequel. Kind of a good snapshot of what more is to come. Another strength I felt was the character development, which again can be a challenge in the short story format. How would you rate it out of 5 stars for character development?
So in this book, I don't see a lot of her development.
Okay,
I think her personality is still a lot of the same.
okay,
A few things change, like she started the book hating a person, and then those things change a little. So we see her personality changing a little,
yeah.
but since I already read Throne of Glass, it's like a completely different character. Her development is really big with what happens in this book to when the Throne of Glass book starts. She changed a lot. Her development's really, really impressive.
And you were talking a bit about this before, but you're a big fan of Sarah J. Maas's writing style, right?
Writing style, not so much.
Okay,
I, I really love her creativity, the way she creates the world, um, the characters. I really like
okay.
everything, but I have a problem with her writing style. It's my personal opinion. I don't really like books that are written in third person.
Okay.
I, for me, it's much easier to read and comprehend and just to get into the book when it's first
Right.
person.
That's probably what brings it down to the 4 stars for you then, is the writing style.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. For me, all in all, this was a really good introduction to the series. I'm definitely looking forward to continuing it. It is a young adult book, and you can see that a bit. And yeah, it probably wouldn't have been a book I picked up on my own, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. There is a bit of a romance subplot throughout this book. Any thoughts or feedback on that?
It helps me a lot because I'm a big fan of
Mm,
romance. So, but I really like fantasy books. I really like YA, all those genres.
hmm.
But I need a little bit of romance at least
Yeah.
to keep my attention. And yes, we have some romance in this book. It's not the main point of the book.
I I don't necessarily go seeking romance in books. It's nice to have, and yeah, it's definitely part of a subplot, but it's not overbearing, which is nice.
No. But and I really like the romance in this book. I think it was well built. How it grew.
Yes.
It was not just like an instant love
Yes.
or something like that, which is doesn't work for me. I'm like, no, there is no instant love.
One of the other books we reviewed, Peter and I really struggled to see where the romance and the desire came from. It was just all of a sudden, this is their love interest. Where in this book, we got to see the progression, we got to see the development, and for it passed the believability test for me. It is young adult. I didn't find anything too graphic. Correct me if you feel differently, but I feel it's appropriate for a teenage audience.
This one, yes, I think so. The other books, we have some inappropriate
Okay,
stuff.
probably a little bit higher age rating on future books in this series. Okay,
Nothing too much.
good to know. good to
but
know for people wanting to get invested in the series. Final thoughts on the book, Ba?
well, I love this book. I love the series. I recommend all her books for
Okay.
everyone, even if it's a boy, a girl, teenager, a little bit
Hmm.
older. I think it's really interesting. Just read,
Yeah.
people. It's
It
good.
is good, and this is the first one of her books that I've read. I've seen the series out there, going to the bookstore. She's everywhere. She's a popular author. I believe it's got first book has over 500,000 ratings on Goodreads, so it's very, very well established, very well liked. Definitely worth picking it up. This is one of our upcoming Geek Out streams for the month of May. We have another video up there, and we'll include the schedule in the description below. Thanks for joining me for this spoiler-free book review, Ba.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
looking forward to geeking out with you guys. Bye.
Bye.